Yeah, it's a pretty big announcement today. It's extension of our King Cobra discovery zone. We made the discovery late last year, and this is just further sort of confirmation that we're onto something fairly major here. So it's the high-grade zone within the Bandfulk disseminated ore body, and it's running sort of 1% nickel, which is a really good grade, very shallow, most likely going to be an open pit mining scenario. So we're pretty happy with it. It's yeah, the market liked it, so yeah, we think there's more at depth, so we're just going to chase it down, dip, and hopefully hit some more of it at deeper levels.
I guess it's a constant debate within the industry as to where the cheapest nickel can be sourced. And Southeast Asia is certainly on the footprint of being able to do this. So is Canada. Australia seems to be a bit behind on this. Do you think the Australian nickel producers can compete with the prices that are achieved in Southeast Asia?
Yeah, so there's some very cheap nickel coming out of Indonesia. That's the laterite type. We're looking at the sulfide type, and the reason we think we can compete on a global scale is because we've got the hydro grid power. So we've got an existing facility or concentrator which is plugged into the hydro power. So that gives us very competitive power costs, but obviously helps being a renewable energy as well. But we've got some very competitive labour costs as well. So yeah, we believe we'll be very competitive on the cost profile, and yeah, very similar to a lot of our sulfide peers in the market.
Okay, so you're doing this drilling. What is the next step? I mean, how close could you potentially be to commercialization? How do you get it out of there? How do you get it to market?
Yeah, so the first step is to convert this into our maiden resource, which we're aiming for this quarter. So we're very close to that in the next few months. Then we'll deliver our scoping study, which is that first study phase, and then we need to deliver subsequent studies in the 2021, and we'll start rebuilding the mine in 2022, and then hopefully we can deliver downstream nickel battery products in 2023. So we've got a very, I suppose, supportive partner in EcoPro. This is the largest cathode manufacturer in Korea and the second largest cathode manufacturer in the world. So we've already got the end user, and so we've already got that demand for the product, and we're going to work in partnership to rebuild this mine and to produce battery products for that cathode, which goes into the lithium-ion battery and then into the electric vehicle.
And so cash was raised back in April for the acquisition of this mine. Will more cash be required through each steps and phases of this project?
Yeah, so EcoPro invested $6.8 million, and the idea of that raising is to get us through the study phase. And then at the end of our studies, in the next 12 to 18 months, we'll do a larger capital raising to restart the mine. So we need sort of circa 100 or 150 million to build that downstream processing facility, but that's still another 18 months from requiring that injection of capital. So we're pretty good for now, and yeah, smooth sailing with plenty of news flow to come in the drilling, but also in that study work.
So what can go wrong? I mean, for shareholders to take a risk with an early stage exploratory company, I mean, you got to be cognizant that there's risks. What are the biggest ones posed right now?
Yeah, the main risk around exploration and development is accessing funding, and we believe that I suppose we've got a great partner in EcoPro, so that minimises our funding risk. The other key risk, and this is anywhere you are in the world, there's a permitting aspect to building a mine. So regardless of whether in Australia or Southeast Asia, permitting is always a key risk, and that it's not that it won't be permitted, it just may take some time, and that doesn't matter if you're in Australia or wherever you are, there is time that is required to permit a mine, and we'll obviously have to go through that in the next 12 to 18 months. But yeah, permitting, yeah, funding is a key risk, but that's becoming minimised with this better capital markets we're seeing.
All right. Well, listen, thanks so much for joining us to get us across this. Lots of people want to find a way into, you know, that EV thematic. So Managing Director, Scott Williamson from Blackstone, thank you so much for joining us. Blackstone Minerals, ticker code is BSX.